TVR Tuscans rolling out in beautiful sunshine conditions at Brands Hatch. Round 6 of the TVR Tuscan Challenge on the full Grand Prix circuit. The field headed by Michael Caine. Alongside him, Ian McKellar, just 0.3 of a second slower on a lap that takes them a minute and a half. This full 2.63 mile circuit. Phil Hindley, the reigning champion, the black nose on his car, lining up behind the pole position man, and the all-white car with the red sign writing. That's number 6, Steve Guglielmi. Well, beautiful conditions for driving and for watching sports cars here at Brands Hatch. Richard Finney starts 23rd of the 38 cars on this monster grid. Gets a good launch as the front row get away. Oh, there could be carnage behind. There's trouble. Somebody's in the barriers on the inside. Looks as though that might have been around the vicinity of Steve Hyde's position on the grid. Jamie Campbell-Walter behind Steve Sutcliffe. Goes around the outside of the reigning champion at Druids. Hindley comes back under acceleration, tucks in ahead of Campbell-Walter. Campbell-Walter is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th place. Gets a bump from Steve Sutcliffe and continues through Graham Hill Bend. Ian McKellar leads from Michael Caine, Steve Guglielmi, Martin Short in 4th, ahead of Mike Jordan in 5th place. Well, those two have started very well indeed from the 3rd and 4th rows of the grid respectively. Steve Sutcliffe dropped down the order a little in that collision with Jamie Campbell-Walter, lost at least 3 places. Riding with Richard Finney, the Porsche 944 turbo driver, chasing Giles Cooper, who started 6 places ahead of him on the grid. So a great start there from Richard Finney. Field streaming around the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit now. This is Derek Minter Straight. They go through Westfield and then climb Dingledell up to the Dingledell chicane. Impressive flying over the curbs exercise this. You can't see your way out as you go in. You have to know where you're headed for. These guys all do. McKellar from Caine, then Guglielmi from Short. That's the top 4. Right behind this battle, we've got the reigning champion is behind Mike Jordan. Now he's going around to the outside as McKellar guards the inside. Headlights ablaze on the black nose of the number 1 machine, Phil Hindley. Jamie Campbell-Walter dropping back a little behind them. There is the black and yellow Hawthorns car. And right behind him, Troy Dunlop battling away. Again with Richard Finney into Druids. There he is, the second car in the shot. Through goes the 34 car. That's Matt Doman in the middle of the group there. Oh my goodness me. James Patterson gets it wrong under braking in number 87, and successfully around the outsides just goes Gary Britnell. Patterson now doing the 3-point driving special to get himself back into the race, and I think that is stone last. Replay of the start then, courtesy of Jamie Campbell-Walter. He goes down the pit wall. Ooh, Steve Sutcliffe right across his nose, and it was Ian Flux in the wall. Ian Flux goes straight into the barriers on the inside. Well, thought it might have been Steve Hyde, but in fact Ian Flux a couple of rows ahead of him on that side of the grid, out of the race even before it had started effectively. McKellar then from Caine, Guglielmi, Short, Jordan, Hindley, and just about in touch with this lead group, Jamie Campbell-Walter. Let's ride with him now, out of Stirling's, and then running down under the bridge and into Clark Curve he goes. 48 there, Ian Ashley. Matt Doman and Grant Tremans chasing him. He's already been passed though by Richard Finney. Finney ahead as they come onto the straight. Like so many of the corners and areas at Brands Hatch named after famous British racing drivers of the 60s. Druids, not the most famous of British racing driver names, I grant you, but it's probably the exception that proves the rule. Martin Short here, the green Mole Valley Motorco car, under pressure from Mike Jordan. And just ahead of him, a big lock-up as well from Steve Guglielmi. Guglielmi under pressure. Jamie Campbell-Walter riding here as... Oh, Jordan locks up, nearly hits Short in the behind. And he's got Phil Hindley right with him. Jamie Campbell-Walter's got a great view as they run on the approach into Hawthorn Bend. Short on the inside, Jordan on the outside. Oh, contact! Oh, and my goodness me, Phil Hindley goes over the top of Martin Short as Short gets sideways. And Jordan gets even more sideways across his nose. The 3 of them swap positions. Hindley with flapping front bodywork is ahead now of Short with flapping rear bodywork, and Jordan is in trouble. He's pulling off. I think he is terminally wounded here. Jamie Campbell-Walter passed all 3 of them. Mike Jordan may get back to the pits, but I don't think it'll do him too much good even if he does. TVR in big trouble there. Somebody else in big trouble, it seems, as we ride with Richard Finney. Reeds of tyre smoke coming off. Martin Short, the green car there. Looks as though he's heading for the pits. Indeed he is. His race, I'm sure, is over. Yeah, Short's team running to meet him, but I don't know how much good it'll do. He pulls up, oh, bizarrely, behind in Flux's damaged car. Martin Short, well, I'll be surprised if he doesn't just bail out here and now. In comes the number 45 machine, Michael Caine's teammate. That's Julian Locke. Looks like he's got problems as well. Well, replay now from onboard Mike Jordan's car. Goes around the outside. Martin Short on the inside. Gets spun across his nose. And the damage being done in the collision with Martin Short. Didn't quite see the spectacular shot there of the car going over the top of Short of Phil Hindley. Here we go from the outside again. Ooh, Steve Guglielmi on the grass there. Jordan and Short side by side, almost room, but not quite enough as Jordan spins across Short's bow, slows him right down, and Hindley can't avoid Martin Short's green machine. Rams the back of it, climbs all over the top of it. Yes, Phil Hindley, I think, will probably be in slight handling difficulties with that one as well. Never mind the fact that he's got the front bodywork ripping its way off the car. Into the pits comes Mike Jordan, and the green car of Martin Short is still there. There's Ian Flux, looking a bit disconsolate with nothing much to do. Here there is the race leader with plenty to do. Ian McKellar fighting off Michael Caine and Steve Guglielmi. Guglielmi showing the signs of damage on his car as well in his battle. Jamie Campbell-Walter now up to 4th place and chasing that group down. Here is the man he clashed with on lap 1, Steve Sutcliffe. That's 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th places, and all the rest there. We're riding with Richard Finney in that group, and I'm sure I saw the flapping bodywork of the reigning champion ahead of us. Matt Doman's picked up a puncture. One of many drivers, I'm sure, to run over debris at Hawthorne Bend last time. Yes, there is Phil Hindley in the middle of that group. And here is a battle coming up to Hawthorne. Well, that one safely passed off with no damage done. Colin Blur in 5th. This is the battle for 6th. Steve Hyde and Steve Sutcliffe. Up into the Dingledale chicane they go. Oh, somebody's gone off. Riding with Richard Finney. Yellow flags are out. Yes, somebody definitely went off, and I think that was Colin Blower at the lead of that group. So the 5th place man has gone off heavily. It is the number 5 machine. Gone off heavily. Getting Dingledale wrong is never an easy thing to get out of, and Blower straight over the curbs into the barriers. Bang, big impact. Look how far back the car's been bounced, 12 feet or so back off the barriers. Race leader with his hand out to the cockpit, signifying that he's slowing down. He hasn't got a problem. He has seen these flags, the black and yellow quartered flag. It means assume a pace car situation. The marshals then obviously needing a bit of time to sort out that Colin Blower incident. And Jamie Campbell-Walter here is in 4th place. Ahead of him, Martin Short rejoined from the pits. Couple of laps down now, and Jamie trying to communicate, I think, that he would like him to get out of the way as soon as possible, please, when they go green. The marshals manhandling what's left of the TVR away. It won't roll, of course, if not all its wheels are attached. A replay of another incident about the same time. Heinz Schumann on the inside, Tom Combrink on the outside, just avoids the gravel traps at Paddock, and then gets on the power too soon. Heady with the success of not having crashed the first time, spins out at the bottom of the hill. Well, away they go, racing again as Colin Blower's remnants of his car have been cleared up. Jamie Campbell-Walter behind Martin Short, not part of this 4-way lead battle, but he will definitely hold Jamie Campbell-Walter up if he doesn't make his way out of this lead group soon. Short with nothing to gain really by being in the middle of this pack. And Jamie Campbell-Walter with everything to lose. And I imagine that his hang signals will become more and more agitated if he can't find a way past Martin Short once they get onto the Grand Prix loop. Short pointing to the inside, going, go on, if you're going to go, go. Jamie Campbell-Walter takes the indication at his word. Freewheeling out of Surtees, picking up the inside wheel as the cars squat down under power. The red light there on the dashboard indicating that Jamie's at maximum revs. Martin Short pulls off the Grand Prix loop, takes the shortcut and heads back to the pits. I'm sure he knows that the car is not really up to scratch now. Oh dear, Jeff Evans getting it wrong, exiting Surtees. Onto the grass he goes, and back onto the track. Oh my goodness, they're all coming up fast behind Jeff. Better watch your mirrors. Here is the race leader though, Ian McKellar, Michael Caine, Steve Guglielmi and Jamie Campbell-Walter. They are your top four. And Steve Sutcliffe and Tim Hood in that order now in 5th and 6th positions. But as they come into Clark Curve for the final time, Ian McKellar leads Michael Caine. It's a drag race for the line. Can Michael Caine pull alongside him? He goes low, he has to go high. It's the long way round. No, by half a car's length, Ian McKellar wins from Michael Caine. Steve Guglielmi third, Jamie Campbell-Walter fourth, Tim Hood in 6th place with Steve Sutcliffe just ahead of him. Great result for Michael Caine. That leapfrogs him into second in the points behind McKellar.